I don't think I need to really do a long introduction, so I'm not going to. Actress, former MMA fighter, Gina Carano. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. I have to tell you, I am so glad to see that you are standing up and fighting back against Disney and Lucasfilm for what happened to you. Can you just describe quickly that whole scene?
Well, quickly.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was really interesting because for the longest time, for the last couple of years, I was just distraught, trying to rebuild my life, running into all sorts of, problems of trying to, recreate my career. And finally, I was like, I had to just give it to God and say, all right, you've got me in life. I'm going to keep going and I have to let this go, and give it to you. And, whatever justice I get, I know you're working behind the scenes for me. And then it was almost as soon as I did that, I got a email from a lawyer that was hired by Elon Musk and X to inquire about my case. And then I was just so excited, and I emailed him back immediately. And we started going through all of I just educated them, and I sent them everything I have to date, and I have a lot more to send them. And they're wonderful, and they are just excited, and they couldn't believe. They were kind of dumbfounded about how this happened. So that's the quick version.
So you've worked with everybody: Michael Douglas, Fassbender, Channing Tatum, Bill Paxton, Antonio Banderas, Robert De Niro, Ryan Reynolds. Have you had any support from these people, or are they afraid to come out, or how would you describe what your friend circle?
That's not my friends. They're not my friends. They're
your coworkers.
They're incredible people that I've worked with. I've never had an issue with anybody, with anyone whatsoever. As far as actors go or crew goes, or for that matter, I've just not had an issue on sets ever. I get along with everybody. But yes, to answer your question, there has been many people who I have worked with and who I haven't worked with that I've run into. Not only just very well-known actors, but also very well-known producers, and actually people who are still working in Disney and Lucasfilm actively, have, they all have shown so much support every single time I've seen any of them. And to be very honest, I've not had one person from this industry come up to me and say, I deserved that. They're all saying the complete opposite. So it's just been kind of mind-bending that Lucasfilm and Disney couldn't see that as well.
When they contacted you, I assume they contacted you with this, or maybe they just said, it's over for other reasons. But when you found out that you were being cut out of everything and your career was over because of a tweet that was exactly the same that your co-star tweeted, except toward the other side, did you point that? You had to have gone, guys, wait a minute, hold it.
They didn't contact me. This is very interesting, and I think it just shows what the company was at the time a couple of years ago. They didn't even contact me to let me know they were letting me go. They didn't contact me to let me know that there was about to be paparazzi stalkers and people flooding outside my house. I found all of that out just like everybody else did over the internet.
Oh, my gosh.
The fact that, and it was awful. It was, I've been trying to put on a really brave face for the last couple years, but I cannot begin to even describe. I couldn't leave my house for 7 days. I was being stalked. I was being harassed. They were coming up to I had to keep all my blinds closed, and I had actually lost all hearing. I don't know. It's a very interesting, random thing. I lost all of the hearing. As soon as I was canceled, my hearing got clogged, and I could only hear 5%.
Was that kind of like, this is a horrible name for it, but hysterical blindness, where you are in so much trauma. That
felt
is
like it really, yeah, it really felt like that. Like it felt like, you know, either that or God just put earmuffs on me.
Wow.
And I just was like, you know, and so I really had to sit there in my head, and I really had to sit there in my head and just go over things, and it was quite it was torturous until I finally was just like, okay, I just gave it to God, and you know, it was just such an intense time, and you know, for them not to even warn me, you know, I didn't live in a gated community, so I was just out there. And that wasn't, you know, you think that somebody would have, you know, just call me and tell me, hey, thank you for all your work and everything, and we're just no longer going to work with you. And then they put out the statement about the denigrating people off of their religious and cultural beliefs and being abhorrent. And I was just like, it was just at the worst time possible. They really kind of, you know, they definitely put my life in danger at that moment.
So what do you hope happens with this lawsuit? I mean, I'd love to see the discovery on all of the emails going back and forth. That'll be nice.
Yes, yeah. I hope that this makes a change. I hope that it makes a change in this industry, and it makes a change in people's hearts. You know, the post that I got fired for originally, or what they said I got fired for, was never supposed to be what the media and all of them twisted into. It was supposed to be, you know, do not demonize your neighbor. You know, we need to look at each other as human beings, because the internet is one thing, but when you get outside and you get around people, there's so much love, and there's so much, you know, it's not the internet. The internet is false. It's a lot of people hiding behind, you know, brave ideas and false accounts. And when you get to be around people, there is, you know, we all bleed, you know, red. We're all just kind of on this earth together. And so I hope that the outcome for this case is just to make, you know, everybody kind of be a truly inclusive industry in Hollywood, and make it that much difficult to do what was happened to me to happen to the next person.
Yeah, you know, it's people. I don't think people understand that, you know, it's happening to people like you and, you know, people all over the country who are in visible places. And I don't think people really understand, if they do it to people like you, why would they hesitate to do it to a nobody? Exactly. And that's the scariest thing, is they're not coming after the nobodies alone. They're coming after names like Elon Musk, who I think they're trying to do the same thing to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely, when they try to smear him as anti-Semitic, I was like, that's exactly what they did to me. They try to smear you as all of these key words, racist, anti-Semitic, transphobe. And, you know, it's really, they're just trying to, you know, squash down anybody who has, you know, the ability to reach people, to just to tell them, let's communicate. Let's think, you know, critically. Let's, you know, not just listen to what the news is telling us, and let's communicate with each other, because we have to, because everything is owned now by people who want to just grab more control.
It's really crazy. It is. I've never seen, especially with Disney, I've never seen such a wrecking ball taken, you know, to their own corporation, like Disney has taken the wrecking ball to everything that they own and everything that they touch. I mean, this is just
truly a shame,
horrible.
Right? It's truly a shame, because we grew up with Disney, and it doesn't seem like it would be that hard of a fix. You know, it doesn't seem like, hey, you know what, we messed up here. You know, they're so good at telling everybody how to apologize and get on their knees and say sorry. It's like, you know, lead by example in this case. It wouldn't be hard to be like, to look at my case and say, hey, you know what, we did wrong there. Let's make it right. And, you know, and then let's start reaching out to, you know, really inclusive, like all people. It doesn't mean that they have to follow any type of political, you know, side. They could just really include and appreciate the fan base that they had, that has just been completely betrayed by them. So I don't understand in those meetings how it's just not like, you know what, we did wrong. Let's face up to it. Let's do something right here, and let's get our our conservative viewers back.
Right.
It seems like it would just be a no-brainer.
I don't know if they could at this point. I mean, once you've violated my family, I mean, beyond what they did to you, they're trying to teach my children principles that I don't agree with at all. And they've lost that trust that parents had. Oh, it's Disney. It's safe. It's not safe.
Yeah.
And that's going to take them a long time to recover that. And a good step forward would be to correct this with you and others that they have wronged. When this happened to you,
nothing's impossible, though.
I know.
If they keep going down this route, they're just going to be considered evil. I have a massive ball to rock to push back up a mountain to get back a career, but I'm not looking at that saying, okay, I'm at the bottom again. I'm not going to do it. We have to constantly rebuild ourselves, and so do companies. So if they started now, they could, start pushing that rock back up instead of it just tumbling. It's just tumbling down the hill.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be fine in the end, especially since, when this happened, we weren't really ready as the conservatives. And I don't want a bunch of conservative films or, films, but I just want good films. You know what I mean? And can we have them say decent things about society and try to help us be better people? But if you look at the films now, Angel is really, I think, leading the way on this. If you see some of the stuff that's coming, and I think we're right on the cusp. I started the Blaze, before Amazon and HBO were online. We were doing digital streaming at the Blaze, and it was a nightmare. Now, 12 years later, things are happening to where there is a community. You give it another 5 years, and we're not going to have to worry about Hollywood.
And it really just breaks your heart. I feel like so many people have come before me and fought this battle, and nobody was paying attention. So I really am honored to be in a position where people are paying attention right now, and to give respect to those people that came before me, those actors and everybody that was trying to break down the barriers for so long. It breaks my heart that, they didn't get justice. And so, I feel pretty fortunate, to be in the situation to help with that, because yes, in 5 years, it's going to be even better. And I'm excited to have just been at the beginning of this, just how I was at the beginning of women's mixed martial arts. I feel like I get to be the, part of breaking ground here. And so I really hope this case is, I hope people pay attention to it and blow it out of the water, and just make sure that, we're going to make it easier for the next generation and the younger people behind me.
I have such great respect for you. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome here anytime. Best of luck to you. You bet.
Thank you so much.